Alrighty, good morning, ladies. I don't know who needs this message, but this message or this transparency. But it was on my heart and heavy on my spirit ever since yesterday. But the videos were not uploading, so you all were not getting like the notifications. So that's why I waited. Anyway, for whoever needs this, here it is. I met this guy in 2005, in the fall of 2005. His name is Isaac James Seals. When I met him, I had a shoe business I had just recently started about a year and a half prior to moving to Columbia. And um, he had a business called Seals Investments. This man was very polished. He was very casual, very professional, young, middle. Well, he was 25, I think, at the time, maybe 25, 30 at the time when I met him. Because he was about 6, 7 years older than me. So like 30, 31, because I was 25 at the time. So I was young, vulnerable, and naive at that time in my life. And I had a lot of money that people didn't know about. And I always loved, being what I call a private or a solid investor, making, solid moves. And I was always taught to live a pretty basic and plain life to keep people out your business. So when I met Isaac, Isaac had this business called Seals Investments. I met him through a mutual associate that I was going to church with. He had a nice Mercedes. He was very versed, very knowledgeable about real estate, about he had a vending business. And I just had started looking for some more vending machines because I had 3 at the time. So he was already where I was growing to be. Long story short, we hit it off right off the bat. He told me he was engaged to be married, and I remember asking him if it was okay if I could at least talk to his fiance, because her name is Tarnisha, but we call her T. She was in the military. So I said, I don't want to do business with you and be around you a lot, and your fiance don't know me. So he introduced us. Everything seemed so perfect. I started making so much more money in the beginning of meeting him. So much money. Everything was coming quick, quick, quick. How I loved it. So about a year rolled around, and I was able to get a condo. We was doing a condo business and a house contract where we kind of shuffled some names around just to make a deal work for somebody else and use my money and things like that, and I get double off the deal. Ladies, it took about 2 years. About 2 years rolled around and money started disappearing out of my bank account. I started having a lot of fraudulent activities on a particular bank that I was banking with. That man was a scam. He was a scam artist, a professional, smooth scam artist. He did not just get me. He got me and several other people. The one deal that I was able to do with him, well, it was actually 2 deals. 2 deals I was able to do with him with a house and a condo. The particular man that purchased the newer house and swapped the condos out, he got those men. I remember them working for like a fitness gym. He got those men. Isaac left. He told us he was going overseas with his fiance because they were planning, their wedding and all that great stuff. What we found out was that he was a professional scam. So the money was being made up front, but the money was being made up front to pull everybody in. And, to keep people thinking that the business was what it was. Seals Investments was a business that he established, but at the same time, it was a crooked business. So when people started having money missing out of their account, like checking accounts, he had our checks, our information, ordering our information, sending things to different places where he lived. He started dodging us, and we was like, wait, what's going on? Everything just kind of fell. The bottom just really came out. Altogether, I lost $55,000. Mr. Jesse lost $30,000. This other guy, he lost about 65,000. And then this all happened with us in Colombia. So then he changed his number. We didn't hear from him. All this, we, of course, trying to get law enforcement involved, trying to find him, locate him. And that's when we found out what Seal's investment really was. He had a rap sheet of being a professional con artist from Missouri to Arizona to Louisiana to California, Columbia, South Carolina, Houston, Texas, and T, which was his fiance at the time, he gave her this luxurious wedding overseas, and then he gave her a big wedding before her mom died in Houston. Her mom never cared for Isaac, and those are some of the things that she used to confide in me. And she was like, "But I love him." She was very, very smart. She did very well in the military. Ladies, she almost got kicked out of the military because of his illegal scams. He had a rap sheet, felony charges, all with check fraud, all with credit card fraud, bank fraud, wire, money laundering, stuff like that. All of us have been gotten. His first child he had years ago, Devon, he had from this woman named Latanja Richardson. She and him have always stayed in cahoots with each other. She was his back supporter in every scheme, every scam, with every person that he did. She always took him back. I truly feel like Latanja just truly loved Isaac. They met when they were very young, when they were teenagers, had kids. Oh, Chloe. Had kids and had a son and went separate ways. I think she just one of those women that just, she still loved them, just very much in love with them. Isaac became a career criminal. And I'm here to make this video to say this. People talk about so much how they make money, how their lives get on top, and how they're so versed and so good at that. And we don't see the manipulation. I told you 2 years. 2 years I was doing business with that man. Within those 2 years, remember that shoe company I told you I had just recently started a year before I met him? And it was doing very well. When I got with Isaac, probably about 8 to 9 months after, things started kind of shifting. My shoe business started having a hard time. I wasn't getting the shoes in that I wanted. People stopped buying from me. It's just like things became a little rough. I lost a job that I was on. I used to work for this company called Advance America. I lost a job that I was on, like little small things. I started having a lot of car trouble. My car started breaking down a lot, like major things started going on, and money just began to be tight here and there. So in real estate, one of the things that I learned, sometimes money gets tied up. So just because you see a person make a deal doesn't always mean they make money right off the bat, because sometimes it takes a little process to make the deal work with all the combinations coming together. So sometimes the money would just be a little tight. Ladies, ladies, ladies. Everybody that walks around looking professional does not mean they're professional. Everybody that walks around driving these luxury cars don't mean that they're luxury cars. Because what I found out was how he was getting the cars. He was using like his family member's name. He had schemed so many people in his own biological family that it was utterly ridiculous. That's why he moved around so much. He was trying to build T a really big house in Florida. I think it was in Miramar, Florida. He was trying to build her this house. All the business deals that we were making with him, all those deals began to bounce back. We had federal agents looking for us, field agents with banks looking for us, because all of our deals came out faulty and fraudulent. So we all had pending charges because it looked like we were a part of a Ponzi scheme that he was the originator and the culprit of. Now, it took some years for all this to get worked out. Like I said, in the midst of that, I took a L for 55. Mr. Jesse took an L for 30. And I think his name was Kwame. Kwame lost 65. Everybody lost the properties. Everybody. All gone, 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 gone. In that time, I was rebuilding my parents' house. I was in the process of remodeling my parents' house. So I was asking, I made a, you know how you make a request for your investment to take money out of your investment. The people who he was having at that time, we didn't know, that I thought was working with a bank and a true investment company, was his baby mama, Latanja. They was using their son named Devon, and they were using his mother's name, which she was living at the time, and his sister Jessica. Everything was fraudulent. Everything was fraudulent. Everything was fraudulent. The people had tore my parents' house down. The house was already a little shack. And I'm just being straight honest with y'all for whoever needs this. I wanted to do something for my parents. My dad was getting older. Isaac, we also found out Isaac was into insurance fraud and scams and schemes. So I had hired this construction company in Columbia, South Carolina. This man, Mr. John Cornelius, he was doing my parents' home. He already gutted the house, gutted the floors. But in the midst of the projects, all the checks that were sent to me that I was, writing, sending to him, all the checks bounced. Every single check bounced. They bounced and they came back as fraud. The name that was on the check from the investment company was Isaac's brother, John Seals. All of them were in cahoots, scamming and scheming. They all followed his lead. That man, Mr. Cornelius, had to stop in the midst of, after my mom and daddy little shack was already gutted. He had to stop in the midst of that and leave that house how it was, because that was already $25,000 that had bounced in his account. So when his check bounced, I'm getting notifications from my bank. I have not only bounced checks, but I'm in the negative, deep, deep, deep in the negative. It was just pure hell. Isaac went on the run. Remember, he was engaged to T at the time. They ended up getting married. He got her to elope overseas, and then they had a wedding in Houston. By the time we caught up with Isaac, years had passed by. That's how long he dodged us. And I'm talking about maybe like 4 or 5 years. So long story short, when we caught back up with him, of course, he came up with this big story that, something happened with him and Tarnisha. He tried to blame everything on T, like she was the criminal. She was, all of this and this and that. He tried to put everything off on her, but it was him. We already at that time had found out, like I said, that what Seals' investment really was, and how he did felony time, federal time, and state time behind a lot of check scams, check fraud, and stuff like that. And he used to write bad checks. And this was in Missouri and Arizona. So, did I get any of my money back? No. No. I had to start over. No. Did Mr. Jesse get any of his money back? No. But he got to keep the house that he and his wife bought, the little deal that we all did. The guy, Quarmaine, he had a building that he brought to start his own workout thingamajiggy, like a little gym. He lost that, plus his money. My parents' house, we had to rig it. We had to Negro rig it so they could live in it. We had to rig it back together because that was a great, great fall. Now, in the midst of this, people at that time saw my life not really changing, but they just saw me going a lot of places, doing a lot of things. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm working with Mr. Seals today. I had so much respect for him. I'm thinking, I'm supporting this black man that's really on, black entrepreneurship. We did the Black Expo together a couple of times in Columbia. We did some little business deals in Atlanta. So I'm really thinking that, this is a good black man that I'm supporting. His fiance is absolutely amazing. It's good to work beside a man that has a good black woman. All that black love and straight shit. Did she know that he was a criminal? No, she didn't. That woman almost lost her military career. Because by the time everything was going on, people started going after her because of him. Not just me, because I went after her as well, like legally. Me, Mr. Jesse, Kwame, and that's when a lot of other people were trying to go after her because of his doings and him using her name sometime with certain business deals. So I'm saying this to say, I say all of this to say this. People will see in you what they lost in themselves and try to gain off of it. Yesterday when I did that video, that's when I really started getting prompted to say this. Yesterday when I did that video and that person that met a false person, they met a false person and the false person was some sort of scam artist, scam like a con artist and a schemer. And that person went through a great loss. When the Ten of Pentacles comes out, sometimes it can be like $10,000 or 10 million. It can be big money. False people don't show themselves the way you think all the time. And it's so easy to say, oh, yeah, you know, that person is getting karma. They hurt me. And that's why they met that false person. And that false person destroyed their life. Let me tell you something. When I met Isaac, I didn't know he was a false person. And he did not give off any signs. Did I have dreams? I did. Did I have feelings that something was, you know, off or maybe I shouldn't do something? Yes, I did. But what overrode that was the emotion of making money, a lot of money, because I already had a lot of money stored up that people didn't know about. And I already had a plan for me and Nosha's life. So I was like, I'm just going to make this money. And I told my daddy, I said, Dad, I'm either going to go back to California and I'm going to stay and not come back, or I'm going back to Florida and I'm going to stay. But I got somebody that I can really make real money with this time. I didn't see the falseness in him. I allowed my emotions to rule me. I allowed my emotions to rule me. And we see people on this internet all the time say, oh my God, you know, I'm doing this. Oh my God, everything glitter is not gold. That's why I refuse to get up here looking all dolled up all the time. Because when people always got to be so dressed up and be so polished and everything is so perfect and they sound so good, I have learned, especially in the last 5 years, those people have so much mess with them until it's utterly ridiculous. False people have a very strategic way of covering themselves. Now, that was a life lesson for me that I prayed that I would never get again. Why? Because I made sure that I did business completely different when I started venturing back out. And it took a long time because I had so much of a cleanup process to do. You have to not shun the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit will always forewarn us to be careful and be mindful and pay attention. There would be little times when Isaac would be with us and he would be like, oh my God, man, I forgot the contracts. Can you type this up for me? Or oh my God, I forgot my checkbook. I forgot the business checkbook. Could you possibly loan me a check, you know, and let me borrow your check, and I do this for the business, and I'll front it right back to you. That's how he got our information. But in the beginning, money was being made. Everything seemed so legit. So he earned our trust because we already had made a significant amount of money from him. So when he would, you know, forget, because he traveled a lot from overseas. He traveled a lot within the U.S., especially from Missouri to Columbia to Arizona to Florida to Louisiana and to California. So we trusted him and we thought what he was telling us was straight truth, but for it to be all lies. It was so bad, y'all. We found out that even dental work that he had done, he was using other people's names. Previous girls that he was doing business with, that he scammed, that he, you know, in some of them he had relationships with. He was getting his teeth done in their name, leaving them with, you know, going to the dentist is not cheap. It's expensive. I'm talking about he had a gap in the front of his mouth. I wish I still had a picture of him so I could show y'all. He's right in Tampa, Florida. He Right there in Tampa. You can look him up right there in Tampa, Florida. Isaac James Seals. That's why I use his name so freely, because people need to know. You look at people and you think they have a very polished and good look, and they are criminals, crooks, 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 crooks with a lot of knowledge from books. He has a little food business down there in Florida. Him and the same baby mama that he went back to, that he always went back to. And you'll be surprised at how many women support and do men. They don't care about men overstepping their boundaries with another woman, as long as they gain something from it. So you got to be careful. It's easy to judge situations, but until you get in the depths of it, I don't know why the Holy Spirit wanted me to say this, because I've shared his name many times on the channel, but at the same time, yesterday when it was something about that video that it reminded me to the core of what I experienced. And I'm telling you, it's no joke to have to clean up. Those are lengthy clean up processes. So be careful. I'm saying that because, yes, men do manipulate women out of money. Pay attention. When the Lord shows you something, reveals something about a person, I don't care what they have told you or showed you the side of them for you to believe them. Don't always stick by that Dr. Maya Angelou quote, God rest her soul. But you better always stick by, when the Lord reveals a person to you, you better accept it. And that's what you better believe. I don't care how much they say, I don't know them. I don't know those people. I don't know them. When the Lord shows you, he is showing you for a reason. The dreams I had about Isaac back in the day, I used to dream about him during the time of business. And I used to just see his hands. I used to just see his hands and money floating all through his hands. But his hands used to be all over in the dreams. And at that time, I couldn't understand. I wasn't deciphering the dreams. I took it as, oh my God, this confirmation. This is a man of money. You know what I'm saying? He make money. So I'm really about to hit it big this time. My mama gonna be so, now she really gonna like me. Now she really gonna love me. Because my dad, I never had to prove anything to. My mama, I have always felt like I had to prove something to her to make her like me and, and to love me. So I used to go hard for myself to say, see, Mom, how about this right here? I'm doing a good job. So even with that, I'm sharing this because whoever needs it, you need to understand. And you also need to work that out within yourself. When you feel like you got to prove something to somebody to say, I made it. I'm not as dumb as you thought. I struggle with reading, but I made it. I had a hard time learning how to read, but I made it. But see, I didn't make it at that time. I was making it before, just did well covering it up, not letting people know. You feel me? But then the Lord had to teach me about scammers, about con artists. And he had to teach me. He had to teach me a rough lesson about not proving to anybody that I'm something or I'm someone. I got that lesson at the age of 25. No matter who told me good job, no matter who told me they was proud of me, it was for me to make myself proud of me. You feel what I'm saying? These tears I shed this morning, it's real. I woke back up with this on my mind. I was rocking Chloe back to sleep, and the Holy Spirit said, don't forget to do that video. I want you to talk about it. Stop looking at people thinking they have it all put together. Stop looking. You don't know their story. You don't know how they got what they got. You don't know if they are a criminal or a professional con artist. Everybody wants to make money, as we should. Back then, I was so young. I wanted to make my mom proud of me. I wanted her to say, Candy is smart. Candy is not dumb. I wanted her to, I wanted to hear those words, I love you. I wanted to hear those words, I'm proud of you, daughter. You doing it good for you and Nosha. I wanted to hear that from my mama. So I went all out. That was the first person that got a big chunk of my dope money. I sold dope for 10 years and I've never had a dope charge. They never knew it. I made an ass of money. I took my time and how I strategically invested and flipped my money. My mama knew I was selling dope. She couldn't prove it, but she knew it. She knew it. But the Lord had showed it to her. I think that's what it was. You know, he showed it to her back then. So I'm telling you, they paint themselves to look good. They learn how to talk. They take classes. Isaac also was a Mason. So he was a Mason. And even when he was going to court for different crimes for other states, I mean, many people was getting his ass in different states. When he was going to court, he was getting out of stuff because the judges were Masons. They got hand signals that they use, certain attorneys that they use. He was getting out of stuff that he should have been pinned under the jailhouse for. You feel me? He was linking up with other Masons outside of prison, and they were making deals. These things are real. False people are real out here, but the Lord will reveal them. You just have to be willing to take your time. One thing I will say now, when the Lord show me a person in my dreams, I just take my time and watch that person. I'm very attentive. They may think sometimes I'm getting close to them, but actually I'm not. I'm getting close to you to learn what I don't see about you that the Lord is trying to show me that I might not be picking up. And I want to say something about being a dyslexic woman. I've been dyslexic all my life, and that's what it is. It was one of the things that I was so very ashamed of because I struggled with reading and even, math. But I knew I had a good hustle about myself. I used the one thing my dad taught me as a young child, respect. Respect and manners will open doors that no man or woman will ever be able to close. And the favor that I have seen and experienced over my life was because people said, you are so respectful. You got a heart of gold, Candy. So I kept that. But I always tend to meet people, and I had to learn how to discern them, read them, and not so much judge them by what they look like. Because I had to learn a hard way that people will show you something that they're not. You would think they are a leader and they're not. You would think they're straight up, but they're not. Men find many ways to manipulate women out of money. That's how I was manipulated. I don't want to be somebody y'all sit up here and watch and think I have it all put together, or my life is so perfect, or has always been so perfect. All have fallen short of the glory of God. You feel me? And those people was going to lock me up along with Mr. Jesse and Kwame. They was going to lock us up. We were facing felony charges. Felony charges. Because of a person that we trusted and that we thought had it well put together. And he's still doing the same old right down there in Florida. All he does is they use different names for different businesses. Isaac even used some of our names when he was down there in Florida. He in 2000, I think like 2012, 2020, one of those years, we looked him up again just to be nosy, to see what he was doing. At that time, Isaac and LaTanja had over 20-something evictions. They were in Fort Lauderdale running complete scams, credit card scams, merchant scams. You got to be careful who you get entangled with. You got to be careful. I don't know who you are. You could be a woman, but you could also be a man that this has happened to or happening to. What I'm saying is do your research on people thoroughly when it comes to mixing your name, your social security number, and stuff like that, your bank accounts. Do thorough research. People don't always show themselves to be a false person. But the Lord will be giving you subtle hints, dreams, visions, you calling their name when you talking to somebody else. But that's because the Lord wants you to pay attention to something about the person's name you calling that you're not talking to. And ladies, if you don't learn anything else from me, don't seek the approval of anybody, not even your parents. I know that's a challenging thing to accept, but don't seek the approval of anybody. Strive to be proud of yourself. Strive to be proud of yourself. And try not to put that burden on your child or children, because that's what it is as well. It's a burden. When you put a heavy burden on your child to be something that maybe you're not even. Respectfully saying, let them grow and be who they are. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. Relationships are beautiful. Now, Isaac and I, we had a platonic relationship and a business relationship. And at that time, his fiance, T, they were engaged. So I just wanted to make sure that she knew who I was. Because, you know, people always suspect women wanting to get with a man that makes money for other purposes. But I just wanted to make money for me and my daughter, because I had a plan to get back someplace and live my life a particular type of way. But I was so vulnerable, naive, and emotional. Emotional does not always mean that you're crying, falling out. It just means that you could be so excited and you have that excitement of emotion and you're driving off of that. You're doing things emotionally instead of just taking your time saying, okay, let me look into this person. Let me see. He had stuff all on the BBB at that time. People were reporting him to the Better Business Bureau. It was all type of reports on him. But I trusted a con artist. He was a criminal. He did much time in prison. Isaac just went to jail a couple years ago for the same thing. He stayed in court with people having civil lawsuits against him. That's how much he manipulated people out of money. And at the root of it was his baby mama. The first child he had, that woman he had that first child with, she's always had his back. She's always been in the midst of his mess. He finally married her when he left T, and he divorced T because T had almost lost her career, her military career. The same thing he was doing to us, he was doing to her, but didn't think she could ever find out, making it seem like he was a businessman. No, he was a straight up criminal. A straight up criminal, a con artist. I don't know who you are that needed this message, but I just want to say this, and hopefully it will encourage you. If you are going through a rebuilding phase, you know, it happens in life, but God does not tear us down for us to feel like we can never rebuild. He just wants us to do it the right way. I had to give up a side of me that, you know, I was very comfortable with. And that's that hustler side. That's that quick money making. You feel me? I'm just being 100. I had to give that up. I had to let that go. I had to learn to trust God. He spared me from prison several times. Several times. But I had to learn, all right, work on your trade. Stop being so scared because you struggle with certain things. Get some help. Get you a tutor. So that's what I did. You can do it too. You're going to do it. If you work a job, keep working. Get you some credentials. Keep going up the ladder. It may be tight right now, but you're going to get it. He's going to open up a door. Have some respect about yourself. Have some manners. Don't look at people as if they're nothing. Don't start making money and start looking down, because, see, that's what God's going to do. He's going to humble your ass. He's going to bring you right on down. He's going to allow somebody to get close to you that you feel like you can trust and you're comfortable with, and that's going to be the very person going to take your ass down. I had to learn a hard lesson because I was so quick to make money. When I promised the Lord, if you get me out this jail, I promise I'm never going back. I'm never going to do it. I'm not going to do this no more. I made God all them broken promises and went right back to them streets and kept doing it. Each time he kept sparing me. I accumulated all this money. And then in 2005, he let me meet somebody. And what happened? Boom, I had to start over. I met a con artist, and he got me. Now imagine if I would have did what the Lord told me to do years before that. Just imagine. Can't cry over spilled milk. It is what it is. But whoever you are, ma'am, or even if you are a sir, somebody may have gotten you. But every day you wake up, that's your opportunity to strategize, re-strategize again. But before you begin to re-strategize, I want to just recommend that, maybe you should take more time in talking to the Lord and asking him, okay, God, what is it you would want me to do? What direction are you sending me in? What are you telling me? What am I supposed to do? Start asking God. Are you the kind of person that you have abilities, gifts, and God is using them things to show you, and you keep shunning them because you trust in a snake? No matter how much somebody tell you they don't know a person, they don't talk to people, they talk to the person that's connecting them, and you keep dismissing it. Come on. You know a person getting you, and you're going to keep entrusting that person with your life. Not just your tangible money, but with your life. You're going to keep doing that? Come on. I don't know who the Lord wants, speak to this morning, but you're going to keep trusting the same person that's cutting your throat? How many times they got to cut you? How much you got to lose? You're going to ascend to eternity early just because you won't take what God is showing you? Come on. You think they care? If they care, they wouldn't do it. It's time for you to recognize some things about yourself. I had to recognize that about me, and I had to start over. That was a humbling process. I went through homelessness. I was stealing gas to keep gas in my car. I went back to hustling a little bit. Because I was like, Lord, it's too tight. I can't do this right here. This is too tight. I had to send my daughter back to my parents. I was taking real big chances. Until one day I said, bump it. I was already paying court fees for some stuff I did, that I didn't have over my head yet. Couldn't get cleared off my record. So come on. Everybody falls short. Everybody plays a fool for something or someone. It's how long you going to be a fool. How long you going to be a fool? Or how long you going to act fool? Choose your battles wisely. You feel me? And ladies, I just want to say this to us. Don't let these people all dressed up fool you as if she got it all together. She happy. She perfect. Don't let them fool you. You don't know how they making their money. You don't know who they stepping on to get it. You don't know who they cutting, who throat they cutting to get it. You feel me? You don't know that. What you do know is you're not meant to be like them. See, I'm particular. I know that y'all be calling me Candy, but y'all don't know Candy. I'm particular about how I use the spirit of Candy. I know that personality. I know that side of me. And for a person to call me Candy, it's because they know me. And they've known me over 40 years. So don't allow that other side of you to pull you so much back to what you used to be. We're not going to return back to our vomit. We're not going to vomit something up and go back. You feel me? Take care of yourselves. Sometimes it takes working 2 jobs or 3 jobs. I know that feeling. I had to get out in life and grind all over again. Isaac even had phone bills in our name, cell phone bills. So sometimes don't be afraid to get out here and grind and start over. If you messed up, baby, you just messed up. Go ahead and cry. Go ahead and scream. Go ahead and kick. Go ahead and be mad. Take a week off and deal with those part of your emotions. And come on, make your bounce back. If you're going to look up to anybody, you should not look up to anybody the way you look up to yourself, because you know your life, you know your struggles, you know your shortcomings, you know your downfalls, you know your setbacks, you know your hardship. That's that person you should look up to. People prayed for you, that's good. Tell them thank you. But nobody prayed for you, and nobody ever will pray for you the way you can pray for you. Nobody can do the work for you the way you're going to have to do it. The hardest thing for me was to take my daughter back to my mama because I felt like a failure. But I had no choice. I had to say I need some help. My daddy has always been my rock. I miss that. Things with my mom, rough around the edges. I've shared that with y'all before. I was looking for validation from her. Never got it. I'm 45. I've come to the point in my life that I accepted that. I accepted that some years ago, to be honest with you. So I just know what it is with my mom and me. I just live my life accordingly. I'm not going to get that pat on the back. You know, does it hurt? Of course. That's my mama. So don't get that twisted. Don't get that twisted. Is it disappointing? Of course. That's my mama. I come out of her. Does it make me feel some sort of way? Of course. But that's why I go to counseling. And get you some counseling if you need some. It's not the people that get counseling that's crazy. It's the ones that's out here thinking they can counsel people and they real fucked up in the head that don't get counseling. Those are the ones that's crazy. It's the people that don't get it and out here trying to dictate and direct somebody's life. And they stuff all screwed up. And the Lord be revealing them and they still sitting here saying, that's not me, I didn't do that. No. There's nothing wrong with counseling. You need a person that's unbiased and that will be real with you and that understands hurt, pain on a professional level. Not just a personal level, but a professional level. And it's okay. It's okay to say, you know, I did it. I wanted her to be proud of me. I wanted her to say, you know, I'm proud of Candy. But to be honest with you, it's some things that I can look at myself and say, oh, girl, you did that. They don't know you're doing this, but you did that. Keep it to yourself. You did that. When you get to that place, I think that's a place that there's no comparison. There's no comparison. When you become proud of you because you know who you used to be, you know what you used to do, you know what you're capable of, but that's not you anymore. There's some parts of Candy I'll never be. I'll never go back to that. I'm done with that. I've been done with that. I'm out the game. I ain't coming back. I kick it with y'all. We can go get something to eat, but I'm never coming back to that. I'm done with that. That's when you can say I'm proud. You feel me? Make yourself proud. If you are a mother, strive to make your children proud. Like, Mom, I'm so glad you stuck with your workout challenge. What you gonna do next? I don't know. What you think? When Nosha says, Mom, I'm so proud of you. You got your degree. I'm so proud of you. Why you not gonna celebrate? I don't want nobody to know. I want to keep it to myself. This ain't for them. It's for me. It's those type of things. Make yourself proud. When your children are alive and everything is well, make your children proud. We all go up and down on the scale of morals and values. Just do your best not to go too low. And if you do have to find yourself going low, I just pray that nobody is with you or can testify or tell that you did it. Because that's what people do. They'll stick with you or stick around at your lowest to go tell it and talk about it and don't think that you know that they are the plug. You feel me? Because we all go up. We all go down. Sometimes we all around with morals and values. But you will find your way. You will find your way. You will find your way. Ladies, I love y'all. I pray that heaven continues to smile upon you. May the Lord continue to bless you and keep you. May you always allow him to make his face shine upon you. God is not the author of confusion. He's not in the midst of it. And guess what else? God is not a man nor a woman that he's going to lie to you. So when he show you something, you take it as truth for you. It might not be the truth for somebody else, but it's the truth for you in your life. Money is a good thing to have. Everybody want their bills to be paid, and everybody want to live, a comfortable life, peaceful life. But what does it really profit us? What does it really profit us if we gain all this money and we have no self-respect? If we gain all this money and we have no morals? If we gain all this money and we have no values? We don't value ourselves. We don't value our children. If we gain all this money and then we die. You scam to get all this money and you're dead. You scam to get all this money but you're sick. What does it profit us? Was it worth it? The money gonna come. We just have to find the vessel for us, our vessel of money. Money is gonna come. Responsibility comes with money. How responsible are you? How responsible are you? Let me give you something to measure by. If you watch this channel, you probably watch tarot as well. Nothing wrong with that. But if every month you got to watch tarot about somebody telling you about what your finances is going to be like, that says you are horrible with your own finances. You don't know what's coming in, so you don't know what's going out. So you're looking for a message to hope something is coming in. If you are always believing God for a financial miracle, that says you have a bad relationship with your money. You don't know it. Your money don't know you. If you always expecting somebody to prophesy to you about money, that's a sign you have a bad relationship with it. Struggle is a part of life. Hardship is a part of life. We have to work to tap into the flow of ebb and flow with money. It's going to come. It's going to come. Some people get it quickly. Some people get it a little slower. It's okay. When you got it, can you keep it? Peace and blessings, great day. Happy Friday. It's Mother's Day weekend. If you are a mom, I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day weekend. If your mom is living, I pray that you and your mom have a good, great, or at least a decent relationship. For those of you all that your mother and you have a rocky relationship, ask the Holy Spirit. Stop asking God, Lord, why she don't like me? Why she don't love me? Why are we getting into it? Why is it like this? Start asking God, what's the purpose of this? What is the purpose? Because out of your pain, God's going to give you some pleasure. Do you have a rough relationship with your mom and you have children or a child? How's your relationship with you and your child and your children? Compare it. Measure it. Do you treat your child the same way your mom treated you? Those are things you should look at. How happy are your kids to hear from you? Mother's Day is every day. Every day we're alive. We take 1 month to celebrate it. But we never stop being a mom. That's the blessed part of life. A mother's love is unconditional. So maybe this would be a weekend that you could look at Mother's Day differently. For those of you all that don't have your mom and this Mother's Day weekend, especially if you had a good mom, I want to say my heart goes out to you. But I also want to say, if you don't have your mom and you are a mother, she was an example of what you should be or become more of. If you lost your mother in grief and aught was not settled, begin to work on that. Don't let it stay rooted in you. Allow yourself to be free and know that forgiveness is here for you, and peace, a peace of mind, peace that surpasses all understanding. Make yourself proud. I let that go. I'm not taking it to my grave. She died. Some things weren't right. Let me get something right in me, because one day I'm going to die. I'm not going to take this to my grave. All right, ladies, that's it. I hope this message, all of it, has helped those of you all that needed this. Somebody must have needed it. It kept pressing on my heart, honey. Heavy, 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 heavy. False people are real. Pay attention to the signs. Don't allow them to make you emotional, because it will make you vulnerable and you are going to lose. Don't focus on them losing so much, because you are going to lose when a false person is in your life and can make you emotional, because the whole tactic is to get you to do something emotional that benefits them. But it may hurt you. It may come at a cost to you. Peace and blessings. Great day. Happy Friday, ladies. I love y'all so much. But you better know God loves you best. Nobody can love us better. Nobody can love us the way the Lord loves us. Namaste.